legend quest. I travel to Africa to find the legendary Ark of the Covenant. And I take on the jungles of Central America.
Ah, you bastard!
In search of the mysterious Mayan talking cross.
A skull?
We're walking into the underworld.
What is that?
These are children's handprints. We're going to the beginning of the pilgrimage route to the Holy Land. We're going to France. This might be the final resting place of the Ark of the Covenant.
My name is Cowie. I'm an author and archaeological explorer, specializing in ancient symbols and mysterious legends. I've spent years studying some of the world's most fascinating relics. Now I'm on the hunt to find out where they are. Some would hope that these secrets remain hidden, but I'll leave no stone unturned to uncover the truth in my legend quest.
The Ark of the Covenant. You may know it from the movie Raiders of the Lost Ark. Indiana Jones battled Nazis in search of a golden chest that would make them invincible. But the Ark is not a fantasy. It's an actual biblical relic dating back thousands of years. And just like in the movie, the Ark is said to have awesome mystical powers.
The story begins on Mount Sinai, where God gave Moses the 10 Commandments on 2 stone tablets. God told Moses to build the Ark, an elaborate chest 45 inches long and 27 inches wide to hold the tablets and other holy objects, like the rod of Aaron and offerings of manna. The Israelites carried it ahead of them in battle, using its supernatural power to destroy all their enemies. Ultimately, the Ark was brought to Jerusalem. King Solomon built his first temple to hold it, at the center of the temple, in a space called the Holy of Holies. Only high priests were allowed to enter the room. A single impure thought, and they'd be struck dead by lightning, just like in the movie. In 586 BC, the temple was destroyed by the Babylonians. The Ark vanished, launching the greatest historical mystery of all time.
Over the centuries, archaeologists and armies, including the Nazis, have searched for the Ark and its powers. But I believe I know where to go to find it. There's evidence the Ark was saved from Solomon's temple, taken down the Nile, and hidden in Ethiopia. My research points to one place, the town of Lalibela. Only Lalibela is recorded as having movements connected to the Ark in the 12th century, right at the time of the Crusades, when artifacts were being shipped all over the world from the Holy Land.
A historian named Abu Salih, who lived in Africa during the Crusades, recorded that
Fair-haired, light-skinned men claiming to be descendants of Solomon were seen carrying the Ark through Lalibela. So we're going to look for clues or symbols which might take us directly to the Ark.
we won't go unnoticed here. Strangers attract attention, especially fair-haired, light-skinned strangers. Kinga's arranged to meet a local named Hailey.
This is Hailey.
Hailey.
Ashley.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
He says he'll lead us to a man who has answers.
Yeah, so we'll be going to the church to meet Mr. Alabacho.
Great. Right, guys, we're moving out.
Hailey's taking us into an area that sets Lalibela apart from anywhere else in the world.
So we are now going to the first group of churches.
This is incredible, Hailey.
This architectural marvel was built in the 12th century. Around the time Abu Salih says those fair-haired, light-skinned strangers passed through.
So that this place come to be the second Jerusalem in Lalibela.
All based on belief in the Ark of the Covenant.
Exactly.
And it took how many years?
About 23 years.
23 years for this.
So this is the reason why angels are related, that angels must have helped because of the short span of time.
The tunnel opens onto a group of churches. It's hard to imagine that this was once a solid stone mountainside. Every column, every window, every tiny detail was hollowed out from solid bedrock by hand. leads me to the high priest. He oversees all the churches here. Centuries of mysteries and secrets have been entrusted with him.
And
My name is Ashley.
my name is
It's an honor to meet
Ashley.
you.
Ashley Massimo.
I'm here looking for the Ark of the Covenant. Has the true Ark ever been in Lalibela?
It was transported touching this place.
So the Ark of the Covenant, it has been here and it has touched here, but it has moved onwards.
It touched this place, of course.
He seems quite sure the Ark was here. But where did it go? All I need is that one clue.
Do you know anything about white people coming here at the time of King Lalibela?
So all I know, during the time of Lalibela, about 500 people came from Jerusalem, Christians.
From the Holy Land.
Yeah, to this place.
The priest just confirmed what historian Abu Salih believed. White men arrived here during the Crusades. They could only have come from Europe. Most historians insist the first Europeans did not see Lalibela for another 400 years.
I must say thank you for the time, and it's been an honor to meet you. Thank you, sir.
Most scholars insist that the Ethiopians built this place on their own. But I believe they had help from the Europeans. Who were they? Potential clues are everywhere.
The center pillar. This is really important. From there, everything grows outwards, all the arches and all the symbols. Look here, you can see the six-pointed seal of Solomon. And right in the center there, you see a Maltese cross. The Star of David represents the Old Testament. The Maltese cross represents the New Testament. Hey, Kinga. Look at the top of this pillar.
There it is, hiding in plain sight. The double-headed eagle, the symbol that could be pointing to the Ark. The eagle often represents the Romans, but I believe here
That eagle represents the Ark on earth.
An eagle with two heads?
Correct. On top of the Ark of the Covenant, there are two angels with wings. And it was the two winged entities that were said to have flown the Ark of God to earth. But it means a lot more. I've seen it before. But I'm working a theory here. We need to just keep looking, but my cogs are turning. That eagle's whispering something to me.
Let's keep looking.
Yeah. Look at this church itself. Look at the right angles. They're absolutely perfect.
To think that they did this by hand?
Or by the help of angels, as they say.
helped by angels, fair-haired, light-skinned angels with an expertise in architecture.
Come with me. We have to get up. Come here. Follow me. Everything's just added up.
I know who those so-called angels were. And now I think I have a good idea of where they may have taken the Ark. Our search for the Ark of the Covenant has led us to Lalibela, Ethiopia. I've learned the Ark might have been here, but was taken away. And now I realize who took it and where they may have taken it.
So what do we got?
That church there is literally a Knights Templar symbol.
The Knights Templar. This Christian military order formed after the First Crusade to protect Christian pilgrimages to Jerusalem and sacred artifacts. The original Knights Templar were men of science and architecture. They always left their mark on their building projects. And what mark is more clear than this? An entire structure in the shape of their symbol.
So what if the fair-haired, light-skinned gentlemen were actually Knights Templar and they took the Ark? Riley told us the angels that help build the churches. What if it's the Templars giving them the knowledge on how to build the churches?
My theory, during the Crusades, the Templars followed the trail of the Ark from Jerusalem to Lalibela to help build the churches. The people of Lalibela entrusted the Ark to the Templars because they regarded the Templars as angels. But where would the Templars take the Ark? That's where another Lalibela symbol comes in.
Now remember back in that church we saw the double-headed eagle?
Is the double-headed eagle a Knight Templar symbol too?
Yes, it is. The double-headed eagle was very definitive of one type of Knights Templar.
I know where that Knights Templar order is based.
The double-headed eagle and this cross
Are their symbols.
I think they took that ark and they've gone to one place.
From Lalibela, it's on to Tuscany, Italy, nearly 3,000 miles away. If I've read the signs correctly, this is where the Knights Templar would have hidden the Ark.
If the Knights Templar took the Ark from Lalibela back to their safe lands up here in Northern Europe, they would have had to have transported up the Via Francigena. Now that's the main Templar route between the Holy Land and Europe.
That's where the clues come in. We're going to the Castello della Magione near Siena.
It's a small Templar stronghold, and the family that owned that castle used the double-headed eagle as their logo and the very same cross that we saw in the rock-cut church. It's the perfect place to have taken the Ark for safekeeping.
This is the Castello, guys. We're here. It was built by the Knight Templars in the 12th century.
It's just so unassuming.
Let's go for a look around inside, guys.
Inside the Castello, the connections to Lalibela seem to jump out.
We've seen this symbol, just like the rock-cut church we saw in Lalibela.
Both with the two equal beams of the Maltese cross. And there it is again. The double-headed eagle, just like the one we saw in Lalibela. Just like the two angels atop of the Ark of the Covenant.
Wow, this is incredible. All the hallmarks of the Knights Templar. The Templars built like nobody else. Oh, look at this. This is very old. There's a chamber or a crypt underneath here, sealed with a Templar cross. It's identical to what we saw in Lalibela. The size of this slab fits the dimensions of the Ark given in the Bible.
But it doesn't look strong enough to permanently protect the Ark. Maybe it was here and was moved.
I need to go and ask the Grand Master about this.
This Templar order usually doesn't allow interviews with its Grand Master, but he'll speak with me. I'm a Knights Templar myself, though I don't know the secrets held by this order. Secrets of the Ark. We sit down with a translator. I'm hoping to get at least one clue from my fellow knight.
When I explored outside in the church, everything here tells me that this was a very special place for very special Templars. Have any relics or historical artifacts been kept here?
La Magione era diventata una casa colonica.
All the relics that might have been here have disappeared with the years.
Let me ask about the church downstairs. In the center of the church, there is a rectangle with a Templar cross. What is below the church?
Intanto precisiamo che non è la croce dell'ordine di
So
Malta.
first of all, it is important to say that the Knight Templar are supposed to have taken the Ark of the Covenant. But probably there has to be a distinction between the history of the Templar and the myth of the Templar.
Then he changes the subject to Chartres Cathedral, built by the Templars in France.
Chartres senz'altro è stata visitata.
Certainly, Chartres in France was a fundamental point for the Knight Templar. You can see in the church of Chartres elements that would connect you.
That is very, very interesting.
Questo è molto molto interessante, grazie.
Yeah.
The Grand Master was pretty cryptic, but he did tell me the Ark isn't here. I think it was here at some point, So where did it go? What am I missing?
Double-headed eagle again. Mary, the baby Jesus.
The Virgin Mary. Because she carried Jesus in her womb, she's called the Ark of the New Covenant. Now the Grand Master's mention of Chartres Cathedral makes absolute sense to me.
Kinga, we're going at the beginning of the pilgrimage route to the Holy Land. We're going to France.
We've traveled from Ethiopia to Tuscany, Italy, on the trail of the Ark of the Covenant. Symbols in plain sight, and cryptic hints from a Knights Templar Grand Master just might point the way to the final resting place of the Ark.
We're going to France.
At the same time the Knights Templar took the Ark from Lalibela to their stronghold in Tuscany, the Order was building Chartres Cathedral in France.
Look at Chartres, absolutely ripping the skyline to pieces.
This cathedral was built to honor the Virgin Mary, to hold sacred treasures brought back from the Crusades, perhaps to hide the most powerful treasure of them all.
We know what we're looking for, anything relating to the Ark whatsoever. Kinga, hey guys, come here. Look at this, right here. With this small box. Look what's inside it. Item 1, Aaron's rod. 2, the pot of manna. And the tablets there that were given to Moses. The 10 Commandments. That there is the Ark of the Covenant. If it was any other set of objects, it could be just any old chest or a box, but that there, right at the entrance to the cathedral. We need to get inside, we need to follow the path of the Ark, and it's pointing right here towards the door, and possibly where the Ark is today. Let's move on.
Ashley, come see this. Look, this is the main reason for pilgrimage to this cathedral.
The very shroud that the Virgin Mary wore when she was giving birth to Christ. Look there, right at either side of the veil. 2 winged cherubim pointing inwards, exactly like the lid.
What Ark?
The Ark of the Covenant.
Just like the Ark and the Eagle. Mary, the Ark of the New Covenant. Could this be a sign the lost Ark is nearby?
You know, we've been looking up above, but look what's right under our feet here.
Look at that.
It's the Chartres Labyrinth. Some say you begin at the opening and you work yourself around the labyrinth and you end up right there in the center, which is symbolic of enlightenment itself.
And it's also symbolic of the pilgrimage to Jerusalem.
But look at the center of the center. Do you see the outline of a rectangle in there? It's unusual to see such a perfect piece of stonework the whole way around it, and then in the middle you got this crude, sort of scrappy-looking box. It's almost as if this has been hollowed out, and then it's been jammed back, and then over time people have possibly tried to get in there, and it's been repaired, but there's nobody getting in now.
It's too small to be a coffin.
It almost matches the design of the Ark perfectly. Look at the size of it.
A crypt matching the one in the Castello. At the center of the labyrinth, the most holy place in this entire cathedral.
We started in Lalibela on the track of the Ark. We know that the rock-cut churches and the symbology there pointed towards the Knight Templar. We journeyed through Italy, and everything pointed us towards France. Here, to the first high Gothic cathedral in the nation. We know that St. Bernard of Clairvaux, the Knights Templar, designed Chartres as an embodiment of the Holy Jerusalem, built just after the Templars returned from the Holy Land. What better to have at the center of his temple than the Ark? This might be the final resting place of the Ark of the Covenant.
One thing I know about Templar hiding places, there's always more than one way in. There's got to be a passageway under the labyrinth. Kinga talks a caretaker into letting us into the basement. He has no idea what might be hidden under there. He lets us go in, alone. I lead Kinga away from the lights in the main corridor.
Kinga, look, it opens up. We can go further under the cathedral right here.
Wow.
Look, stairs. Yeah, this is gonna get me right underneath the floor of the cathedral. Maybe even right below the labyrinth. Stay here, I'm gonna be back in a moment. Oh yeah. Oh, this goes on and on. Look at this. I'm heading towards the labyrinth. I'm right beneath the floor of the church. I can touch it, it's right above my head. But the tunnel tapers off and there's like a wall here. But there's quite possible that there's something further on along that tunnel. There might be a vault right there underneath the center of the labyrinth. I'm right beneath the floor, but I cannot get further.
Beyond that wood, thick, solid rock. The space is the right size for the Ark of the Covenant. We know because the dimensions of the Ark are spelled out in the Bible. Whatever's underneath the labyrinth is entombed for the ages. But why would the Knights Templar hide the Ark? Why not display it? Because they believed in its powers. And over the years, so did many others, including leaders like Hitler, who wanted to use the Ark for their own evil purposes.
I believe the Knights Templar knew it was best to bury the Ark beneath this sacred site. When I was stopped by that wall of wood, I may have come as close as anyone to the Ark of the Covenant.
This might be the final resting place of the Ark of the Covenant.
On my next quest, I head to the jungles of Central America on a mission to find the cursed Mayan talking cross.
What is that?
These are children's handprints.
For decades, mankind has been captivated by the great Mayan mysteries like ancient astronauts and doomsday prophecies. But one of the most incredible Mayan legends, the Talking Cross, has become more than just a myth. Armies have searched for it, cities have claimed it, and thousands have died protecting it.
The legend begins over 5 centuries ago with the Mayans discovering a stone cross in a cenote, which are dangerous underground caverns filled with water. The Mayans claimed the cross could speak to them and even grant them blessings. The Mayans eventually took the talking cross to the village of Shokin, where it was worshipped by the people. In return, they received the power to battle their enemies and protect the ancient Mayan culture from invaders. But years later, it's said the Mayans turned away from their gods. So the cross began making extreme demands, even killing villagers who disobeyed. Finally, the villagers decided they had enough. So 13 Mayan priests and 9 children, whose holiness and purity were thought to calm the gods' anger, took the cross to a secret cave just outside the village of Shokin. There, they planned to perform a sacred ritual to ask the gods for forgiveness and guidance as to where they should take the cross to escape its angry wrath. But once they left the village of Shokin, the priests, children, and cross vanished forever.
If the mission at the cave was a success, we need to find a clue to where they might have taken it next. That's why we're on our way to the Yucatan.
So here we are, looking for something that's going to help us find our way.
Our journey starts where the legend says the talking cross was last seen. The village of Shokin. Our Spanish-speaking cameraman, Jose, will help us translate along the way. We're looking for a Mayan elder who might know the ancient cave that the priests and the children traveled to with the talking cross.
is an amazing little town. Hasn't changed in hundreds of years. King and Jose are trying to find a local elder, see if he can help us with the cross.
¿Cuánto tiempo tienen aquí en esta parte?
He said he was born here?
Yes, they're all born here.
All born here.
It doesn't take long before Kinga strikes gold with a group of lifelong residents.
The locals pointed me towards a Mayan elder named Primitivo Chang. He's 87 years old. This man has information about this area that you can't find online or in books.
That's super cool. You know, the thing about these Mayans is history is passed down through verbal tradition, through oral tradition. Absolutely, that's cool.
He lives in a little hut out of town.
Okay, we're gonna go up and see this guy. He answers his door.
¿Qué pasó?
At first, the Mayan elder is hesitant to speak to us, saying only that the talking cross is cursed and that we should just leave it alone.
¿Cuál es el norte donde se encuentra?
But Jose's Hispanic ancestry momentarily softens him,
Sí, buscando el señor que sabes.
and he reluctantly agrees to speak with us.
¿Está en su casa?
Thank you. So first of all, we must say thank you for giving us your time.
Primero que decir que gracias por su tiempo.
When we sit down, he tells us that searching for the cross is useless. Many have tried, but no one has succeeded.
Is there any information you can give me to help me narrow down my search?
Hay información donde posiblemente podamos encontrar la cruz parlante.
La cruz esa, que están las ruinas, como dice.
There is a location where we might find what we're looking for.
Okay.
Ese lugar donde se
He
dice.
tells us about a hidden cave deep within the jungle that's associated with the cross, but that no one goes there because it's cursed. He agrees to arrange for us to meet with a Mayan friend who's familiar with the jungle, but he says we should proceed at our own risk.
Okay, so what we're doing is looking for a cave. Well, the legends told us that the cross was taken from a cave to another location.
But this isn't the cave where we think the cross is.
Yeah, absolutely. So what we need to do is look for clues and maybe even in the orientation of the cave that's going to show us where those priests and the children took the talking cross.
Okay, you know what? That's him. Hola, Mario Kinga.
Mario Novedo.
Ashley, pleased to
This
meet
is
you.
Ashley.
Novedo. Por la creencia de la mitología maya.
Saying it's a very forbidden place to a lot of people, so a lot of people try to stray away from it.
Mario agrees to take us to the entrance of the cave, but that's as far as he's going to go.
Let's go. Can we get you all the kit and get up there? Do we need ropes?
For you?
Is it deep?
If a man hands you ropes, take them.
We'll go in here. All right, guys. We're gonna have to try and come right through here and come down the other side.
Every one of these plants bites.
Damn it, these things are hard.
What would Mayans use as a compass out here, Ashley?
This here, look. This is a compass.
Tree.
Do you know that trees always go to where the sun is? So, on any given forest, the natural slant will always be to the south, to the sun right there. So at midday, 1.5 hours ago, the sun would have been there, the trees growing directly towards the sun. There's my compass right there.
That's nice to
Let's
know.
go.
It's no surprise this cave has been left undisturbed for so many years. There's huge thorns everywhere.
Well, this reaffirms that no one's been here.
Hiking through here is extremely dangerous. You have to watch every step to avoid being stuck by the spiky plants.
Look at this.
Careful coming in here. This stuff's so sharp. Ah, you bastard.
Ashley, did it puncture you all the way
Right.
through?
That was a bad one.
Our search for the legendary Talking Cross has us traveling to a hidden cave where 13 priests and 9 children carried the cross on a quest to rid their world of its evil wrath. get there, we're going through a garden of hell.
Ah, you bastard! What I need for now,
You've got to be kidding me.
it's a natural antiseptic.
You punctured that all the way through.
Yeah, let's just take a piece of this with me. Right, Mario?
Okay.
Let's go. Hey guys, it's open and clear here, and look, there's more rocks. There's like a trail here now. There it is.
Oh, wow.
Esa es la cueva.
Wow,
Look at that.
This is the cave. What we need to try and find is something relating to the cross. Okay, let's go. We're looking for a clue to where the cross was taken.
Look how huge this cavern is.
I know, it's endless. We're quite literally walking into the underworld, so the Mayans would say. Look at the bat, right there at the entrance.
What is that? Look at that spider.
Look how quickly that guy moves. What's there?
Well, it looks like it ends in... What is that? In water. It ends in water.
Okay, so we're now at the base of this cave. This is as low as we can go. To the Maya, this is exactly where mankind came from. Wow, look at this.
Actually, that's incredible.
These are children's handprints. These are tiny, these are children's hands. They used a red ochre that they ground down. They used to put natural plants in there so it would stick, and they planted it up there. There was 9 children, 13 priests, connected to the cross. I suggest we count the children's handprints. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8, 9, right here. 9 children's handprints in red.
This could be evidence that they were here, each one leaving a handprint. But what if the handprints represented more than just the children's presence?
Ancient cultures often use the location of symbols to secretly communicate information. First,
They're clustered on the western wall, a clue to the direction they may have traveled. And second, if we speculate that similar to early mapping techniques,
a single handprint represents 1 day of travel. Is it possible that the 9 handprints symbolize 9 days of travel in a westerly direction?
it's a long shot. But if we map out a 9-day hike headed west, that puts us directly in the heart of the spiritual capital of the Mayans, Yaxuna. It makes total sense that that's where they would have taken the cross next for advice from the high priests. So that's where we're heading now.
There's only 1 ancient settlement around here, and it's not the main road. We're gonna go off-road for a little while. Look, this is all flat land, agricultural land. That tells us this belongs to the ancient Mayans. I think we're close. Here we are. Here we are, bingo.
Yaxuna, the spiritual capital of the Mayans. Here the priests and the children would have placed the cross on an important altar and asked for guidance from a powerful cleric.
Oh, wow, look at this, guys.
So, I'm looking for a specific altar with a connection to the cross to see if there's any clues about its final resting place.
We're racing against the sun here. We gotta be quick. Kinga, get up to the top of that pyramid. Look for anything symmetrical, anything parallel. Let's remember, guys, nature does not make straight lines. Here we go. Kinga!
I think we've found our altar.
Square plinth. A square in the center. And one circular rock.
This could be the altar, but the rock is out of place. It's not part of the usual design. And that's exactly the point.
If the cross was taken here to this location,
It would have been set right here, on the altar in the center of the sacred city.
the stone that was placed on the altar is the clue to where it may have been taken and what links this altar to the cross.
A circular stone symbolizes water, as well as a cenote, the original place the talking cross came from.
In the days of idols, when a powerful spiritual object was placed on an altar for a burial ceremony,
Some factions would replace it with a symbolic object that forever linked it with its final destination.
the cross has been returned to the cenote. It's been given back to the underworld.
So this circle represents a cenote.
A circle like a cenote, they're formed as natural domes under the water. That's exactly what that's telling me.
And I have an idea how to find it.
This quest has been heading west since the beginning. We should continue in that direction to find a sacred cenote, the symbolic underworld.
There are hundreds of cenotes out here. But if I draw a straight line west of the exact position of this altar, there's only one it could be. This one here. It's the only sacred cenote directly on the same axis. We've got to check out that cenote.
Cenotes are essentially a collapsed cave with water in it.
They're also some of the most dangerous places on Earth, full of strong currents and collapsing rocks.
We don't know how deep they are, so you're gonna have to dive. You're just gonna have to take this chance, because you need to get in there.
Either I'm going to find the talking cross, or end up in a watery grave. We're searching for the legendary talking cross, an ancient Mayan artifact said to have supernatural powers. And I believe we're closer to finding it than anyone else has ever come. We're looking for a sacred cenote that I've tracked using several clues I found at the pyramids of Yashuna. The crew is waiting with my scuba gear. We're heading to the cenote to go diving in search of the cross.
Let's go, guys, come on. We're following a perfect west alignment here. Look at this. This road is perfect east-west. It's this way. Let's go. All right, guys, we're moving.
The talking cross would be an amazing find. It's the most spiritual legend in the Mayan culture.
Hey, guys, here we go. Here's our sinkhole. We've got it.
This is it, the cenote that the altar led us to.
You can't even see the bottom.
I can't see anything apart from the reflection of the water. Okay, guys, we need to get some ropes. We need to get the tanks. We're going diving. It's absolutely enormous. And it's perfectly domed. It's almost like it's been man-made down here. You know, these cenotes were the sacred center of the Mayan world. If it's anywhere, it's gonna be here. You know, I've just descended 40 meters. The next place I have to go is into this abyss in search of the talking cross.
Diving in a cenote is one of the most dangerous activities in the world. Removing just one rock can create a dangerous whirlpool effect sucking you deep underwater. We must be careful not to disturb anything we find. The Mayans were expert freedivers, capable of traveling great distances underwater. If they wanted to hide the talking cross forever, they would have found a deep tunnel and deposited it in there. I'm following the only tunnel wide enough for the cross and a diver to fit in.
Ashley, what are you seeing down there?
The thing that looks like some kind of ancient cutting tool. Possibly to cut vines or even rock.
That's amazing.
It is. It tells me we're on the right trail. Sure. We're heading deeper down the tunnel.
Ashley?
If it's down here, it can't be much further.
Ashley, can you hear me?
We've headed dead out. I have to move a few rocks and then I'll be able to...
Hey, Ashley, do you copy? Ashley? Come on, Ashley, let me know what's going on.
Whoa. That was something else. I've never in my life experienced anything like that.
The rock was too unstable to move safely, but I did find an ancient cutting tool. Evidence that someone was working down here.
I found a skull.
Evidence that someone died here in this remote cave. I also found a chamber.
Which may lead exactly there, right to that cross.
But it was sealed up with rocks. This place is not only dangerous, but it's also protected by the authorities, which means no digging. We can't go any further.
With the dangers facing those who seek the cross, maybe it will stay hidden, just like the 13 priests and the 9 children intended centuries ago.